Let's talk about getting started in the real estate business as an investor. And let's talk about some of the things that are going to happen over the years as you stay in this. Because one of the things that I see often is people getting in and they have this perception of what it's going to look like and what it's going to be like. And they want to be a wholesaler, or they want to be a flipper, or they want to be a landlord, they want to be a developer. They have all these different ideas about what's going to happen and the direction that they want to go. And it's good to have that focus initially. But the reality is, if you stay in this business for very long, you're going to realize that you're spending money to develop leads. And unless that lead fits your specific model of what you envision your business looking like, then you've literally spent money on a wasted phone call. When someone calls to inquire about your services, inquire about your investing, inquire about whatever it is you're trying to generate a phone call for, if it doesn't fit your very specific model, then it's a wasted lead. So what generally happens at some point is people realize, okay, wait a minute, how do I monetize that call that did not fit my model? And so the truth is this: most people are going to be a wholesaler and a flipper and a landlord. Some people will do new construction. Some people will do land development. Some people will do a lot of different things. But once you're in this business, people start realizing that you're in the business. People you know, people you network with. Part of that's by design. Part of that's just part of, becoming in the business. And as it turns out, people start sending you deals. They don't necessarily fit what you want to do, but you do them anyway because there's money in it. And so you become a flipper. You become a wholesaler because you can't handle all of the deals presented to you. You become a flipper because you've got some money in the bank and it's a good deal, and you don't want to just wholesale it. You want to capture that money. You become a landlord because you realize some of this stuff cash flows very well. Maybe it's very close to you. Maybe it's easy. I don't know. There's a lot of different reasons that it can turn into more than your initial business model. And so that's the progression. And if I had a recommendation for anybody getting started, I would say this: you're going to come across leads. Make sure you have the connections to capitalize on those leads. So, as an example, if you're a wholesaler, you are more than likely doing the very same kind of marketing or very similar kind of marketing to that of a flipper. Now, you're selling to flippers, but you're also getting a ton of leads where there's no money in that deal for an investor at all. The equity's just not there. So what do you do with that lead? You call a realtor. That realtor wants leads. Now, can they pay you a percentage or anything like that? Not really, but they can pay you for the lead. They buy leads all day long. All the time, realtors are buying leads. Sell them your leads. Let them pay for more marketing for you. That's how you capitalize on things that you're not already doing. As an example, I know a bunch of different investors that are realtors, and in my opinion, you should be a realtor in addition to being an investor. And if you're an investor, you should be if you're a realtor, you should be an investor, and if you're an investor, you should be a realtor. And again, we're back to talking about leads. So you're sitting you're a wholesaler, you're sitting in somebody's living room trying to buy their house, and they decide you realize there's just not enough equity in this. This is not an investor lead. It just doesn't work. So what do? If you are also a realtor, then you can literally say, I am not able to buy this. There's just not enough equity for this to work as an investor deal, but I am a realtor. Why don't you let me list this and I'll get it sold for you? Clearly, I'm qualified. That is that is one way to capitalize on a lead that you didn't really intend to go get, but it fell in your lap. So you list it. If you're not a realtor, then you say, listen, I don't see this being a deal that I can make any money on. It's just not enough money in this thing for an investor. I can't sell it for you as a wholesaler. But what I can do is I can refer you to a friend of mine who is a realtor, and I believe he or she can get this house sold for you. Do you mind if I have them call you? Boom. Now, what's that realtor going to pay you if they get the listing? You decide. Could be anywhere from $50 to several $100s. That's what I would charge. I'd charge a couple $100 for the lead. That is a listing that will sell. If they called you and you're in that living room as a wholesaler, they want to sell that house. So if a realtor can get a lead or get a listing out of that deal, then they can absolutely 100% pay you for that lead. That is 100% legal. Now, if you're charging a commission or a percentage, I think that starts to get into, I'm not a realtor anymore. I don't know the laws and the rules nowadays, but I think that gets on the side that might be frowned upon. I'm not sure. But anyway, what we're talking about is capitalizing and monetizing leads that you have paid for, but don't necessarily fit your business model. So this is your Serengeti. You need to be the lion, not the gazelle. So have a good one. Call me if you need me. My link is below or in the comments, and I will see you guys at the meeting.